guys, before jumping into the video, I do want to say that I have a review of the first episode for the new season of Tamar and Vince coming up. After watching that episode, my opinion changed a little bit as it relates to Vince. In this video, I wasn't hard on him at all because everything we've heard have been hearsay. But I have more to say, but I do not want to make this video any longer. So I'm going to do a second part that's going to review Tamar and Vince's very first episode of their new season. And I also do apologize in advance for some of the transition in the process of me trying to edit to not make the video too long. Some of the transitions are not too smooth, but let's go ahead and get into the video. What's up, my Vina loves? It's Miss Vina D coming to you all from Vina Entertainment News. So at first, when this whole Tamar Braxton situation broke and her sisters were just diarrhea at the mouth at the airport, I felt bad, right? I'm like, oh my God, why just being so honest with TMZ? That's their sister. You know, they have a nephew. They have to protect her. They can't just be throwing Vince under the bus and all of that stuff. Now, if Vince, Vincent Herbert, Tamar Braxton's soon-to-be ex-husband, did put his hands on her, of course, that is terrible. Even though there's no proof to that, if that did happen, then that is absolutely disgusting. But I was just saying, most of the time celebrities are very private and stuff like that. I was like, man, they're just so free. And then Tamar Braxton's mother goes and drops a huge bomb about, I don't want Vincent to kill my daughter. I felt so bad, right? I'm like, oh my God, they all just talking so freely, like, have some privacy. It's a difficult time. And then Tamar herself just went ahead and just put it all on Instagram. And I said, okay, it's basically every single person in that family is fed up because they had to put on this fake persona for so long and behave like, everything was not perfect but great, and the other sisters were going through divorces and stuff like that, but Tamar was the one whose marriage was intact, and she and Vince were attached to the hips, and they just had their entire life together, when she herself been going through her own stuff, and she's at the point where she's like, I'm going to talk too. My family been talking. Here's my time. So she posted this on Instagram. Go ahead and read and try to understand what Tamar wrote, and then we're going to come back and talk about it, okay? So basically what I gather from this is Vince was allegedly cheating. Tamar's life was an open book as far as her phones and everything, but as it relates to Vince, his life wasn't an open book. He could check her phone, know the passwords to everything in summary, but Vince's phone was always stuck to him like a glue. She wasn't allowed to touch it, see it, whatever. Even though she put up a front on social media saying, oh, Vincent cannot have social media pages, and I have his password, this and the third. Well, that changed. Also, too, whenever they would have arguments, Vince would say, get out of my house. Not our house, not our money, but this house. It was always get out of my house. Mine this, mine that. I made you, mine. In summary, that's basically what she's trying to say. And then the alleged abuse. So I don't blame Tamar for finally saying, you know what? Enough is enough. A lot of this happened. I say it all the time, man. We talk about social media posting and things like that. Just because it's posted, just because it looks beautiful, just because everything looks amazing does not mean that it's great. A lot of people pretend. Now, I do understand marriage is not easy. Marriage is hard work. It's not always going to be peaches and cream and smell the roses and everything is going to be great. Marriage is not like that. So I also get it. I'm not naive. But there are a lot of people that will stay in loveless, unhappiness, toxic, terrible situation just to save face, just to not get the I told you so. I spoke about Tamar Braxton coming for K. Michelle, and when she was trying to defend her friend Toya ex-husband. Now Toya is no longer married to the man who abused Kim Michelle, and Kim Michelle openly talked about that. But Tamar at the time was defending her friend, even though Tamar herself is a survivor of domestic violence. So all of those things play on your emotions. I have talked about people's relationship. I've talked down to my sisters getting divorced. I have made this big look at me. I'm going through the same thing. I'm just going to stay here and go through it to save face. I'm going to stay here and go through it because I don't want my son to live in, going back and forth with both parents like my parents did. I don't want to be my parents. So, and then just people going to talk and people going to laugh, and you end up putting people in front of your happiness, your feelings, your life. I'm not saying Tamar is perfect. We've already seen Tamar behavior on TV. So imagine what she does behind closed doors. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying that she's the perfect one and Vince have issues. Absolutely not. I'm just saying that it's not fair for anyone to live in a loveless marriage. So if you've tried to fix it and it's broken and you cannot fix it, it's okay to walk away and be happy. Okay? God will absolutely understand. There are certain circumstances that a person is allowed to divorce. No one should ever live their lives being unhappy. They were together for 14 years, married for 9 years. They have an adorable son. He doesn't need to be subject to a toxic environment either. So I don't blame Tamar for pulling the plug and saying, you know what? Here I am. I'm no longer going to save face, pretend, and all of that. My marriage is not great, and I'm out, and I'm leaving. And this is my true story, and I'm not going to hide it from the media and pretend and none of that. I'm going to tell my truth here on Instagram, since I'm very, vocal and open about my situation. And so she returned to Instagram with this beautiful picture at the awards. Was it a Sultry Award? One of the awards happened a few days ago. She looked beautiful, and she also did perform. Yes, it was a Sultry Awards. It's right there in my B. I'm wishing Tamar and Vince the best. This is not a great situation. This is not a beautiful situation. This is very sad whenever a family have to be, separated and all of that. But I'm going to go ahead and keep them lifted in my prayer. Okay, now this person wrote, and I agree with what this person wrote to an extent, and I'm going to give my opinion after you guys read it. Tamar came back to Instagram, and then she posted a video of the show, and she posted this. And then the person, said, Tay, I love you so much. I really hope you and Vince aren't lying about this divorce for ratings. I know it's such a coincidence, and I just can't help wondering if you are scamming your fans or not. Tamar responded, baby, ain't nobody got time for that. I don't play with my life, and most of all, I would never play with God. For what? I wish it was fake. It's the hardest thing I've ever been through. Okay. Well, this fan was just coming from a literal point, okay? Tamar made her announcement. Tamar was already emotionally checked out of that relationship before she took those steps to file for a divorce. It's just having to face the public is the embarrassing part. But Tamar made her announcement, filed for a divorce. Then she completely disappeared from Instagram because it makes sense. Like I said, Tamar, before she physically walked into wherever court or wherever to file the papers, okay, she was already done. She was, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever, checked out of that relationship, okay? But you're in the public eye. You can't file for divorce and then be all the gram smiling like, your life is great. Then people are already going to have things to say. They're going to have worse things to say if they feel like you're making a mockery of the fact that, your marriage ending is not a sad moment. So Tamar took a long break from Instagram, but then she comes back on Instagram almost the same or a night or so before the premiere of Tamar and Vince. So I don't blame the fan saying, yeah, right, you return to Instagram on the same night or the night before the premiere of your show. You are advertising the show. Every single blog page is going to repost, your return to Instagram. Come on now. We're not stupid. Now, even if there's some truth to it, I mean, you sad or not, foul or not, you know, she is in the business and she still have to find ways to use things to her advantage. Of course, she's not going to admit that, but I also agree with what she's saying about, you know, it's not easy, it's hard, and all of that. Whatever the case might be, you know, we shall see what Tamar and Vince's conclusion is, whether they end up working it out, staying together. You know, we don't know. I mean, her friend and T.I. did this entire thing. Papers and everything was filed. The show is over and now they're back together and the divorce is off. So we shall see. Now, somebody wrote Beyonce would never. Well, everyone can be Beyonce, but I completely understand what this person is saying. Beyonce is very calculated and is very smart when it comes to her money, okay? I'm not going to give you guys any free information about my life. I'm private. However, when and if I choose to do so, it's going to be a part of a visual album. You guys are going to buy it, sell millions, go on tour with me, and put more money in my bank account to support my kids. If I feel like I'm the queen and you young girls coming in the games are being are being disrespectful, and y'all better bow down to the queen, I'm not gonna put that on Instagram and make it look like I'm more cocky. I'm gonna put it in a song, make you guys think, oh, Beyonce is humble. It's just a song. That's her alter ego. She's being, you know, all cocky on the song. It's her art. You can't come for her art. While she's dissing you, y'all going to buy her records, right? And putting more money in her pocket. Beyonce is like, why would I come on Instagram and give you guys free information when I could make money? Situation happened in the elevator. Never spoke about it again. Jay-Z talked about it on his album a little bit. And so on and so forth. You know, Jay-Z did cheat on Beyonce. She's not going to hop on Instagram and freely give that information. My story. Or I'm going to do a visual album and you guys can go and support that album and make me even more, you know, money. So she's a very smart businesswoman. But I understand Tamar's way and other celebrities' way. Why am I going to go through all of that trouble? I just want to vent right now. So I'm going to put it on Instagram, whatever. I'm good, you know. So the people saying Beyonce would never, I completely understand. But I'm happy for Tamar that she was able to vent, put this out there, and now I'm sure she feels better and she feels okay, you know, by putting this information, you know, out there and being honest. Video. Thank you for all of the support, the love, the likes, the comments, just everything. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm wishing you all well. I'm wishing you all an amazing day. And please, please remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a wonderful day, guys. God bless.